Welcome back to part 2 of our series on 13 Stoic strategies to deal with toxic people. In the last video we explored the first 6 steps to protect your peace of mind and build emotional resilience. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out after this one. Today we'll dive deeper into the final 7 strategies that will help you handle toxic people with wisdom, grace, and inner strength. These additional strategies are just as crucial in maintaining your emotional well-being, and by the end of this video, you'll have the complete toolkit to face any toxic situation. Let's pick up where we left off.
Limit your exposure.
Sometimes, the best way to protect your peace is by simply limiting the time you spend with toxic people. While it might not always be possible to completely avoid them, especially if they are colleagues, family members, or close acquaintances, you can control how much time you allow them to drain from you. Think of it like this. You wouldn't leave the doors of your fortress wide open for invaders to waltz in. You would close the gates when necessary, keeping only those who nurture and support you inside. Toxic people, much like emotional invaders, can drain your energy if you don't control your exposure to them. To apply this strategy, start by setting time limits. If you know you have to interact with a toxic person, set clear boundaries for how long the interaction will last. For example, schedule shorter meetings or limit social interactions to neutral settings. Minimizing contact. When possible, reduce the number of unnecessary encounters with the toxic individual. Avoid social gatherings where you know they will dominate the conversation with negativity. Excusing yourself politely. If you're in a situation where the conversation starts turning toxic, politely excuse yourself. You don't owe anyone your time, especially if it's damaging to your emotional health. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, and while you can't always control other people's behavior, you can control how much of your time and energy you allow them to take.
Build a strong support system.
Even the strongest individuals need allies, and this couldn't be truer when dealing with toxic people. One of the greatest Stoic teachings is the importance of surrounding yourself with people who uplift and support you. Your emotional well-being is like a fortress, and even the most resilient fortress needs reinforcements from time to time. Having a solid support system, whether it's friends, family, or colleagues, helps protect you from the emotional toll that toxic people can take. Your support system acts as a buffer, offering perspective, encouragement, and sometimes just a listening ear when you need to vent. Here's how to build and maintain a support system. Invest in meaningful relationships. Dedicate time to building deep, genuine connections with people who bring positivity into your life. These are the people who will be there for you during difficult times. Seek out like-minded individuals. Join groups, clubs, or online communities that align with your values and interests. Surrounding yourself with people who share similar goals and attitudes will reinforce your own emotional strength. Express gratitude. Don't underestimate the power of saying thank you. Show appreciation to those who support you and make sure to give back when they need help. Seneca, a great Stoic philosopher, believed that true happiness comes from living in harmony with nature and with others. Building a community of supportive individuals is a key part of that harmony. They will help you maintain perspective and remind you of your own strength when toxic people try to bring you down.
Prioritize self-care.
When you're regularly dealing with toxic people, it's crucial to take time to care for yourself. Imagine a Stoic warrior preparing for battle. Before stepping into the fray, they ensure their armor is in good condition, their weapons are sharp, and their body is strong. You should treat self-care the same way. It's not an indulgence, it's a necessity. Dealing with negativity can be emotionally exhausting, and if you're not taking care of yourself, you'll quickly find your emotional reserves depleted. Stoicism teaches us the importance of looking after our own well-being so that we can better handle external challenges. Here are some self-care practices rooted in Stoic philosophy. Physical activity. The Stoics believed in keeping the body strong as it contributes to mental strength. Regular exercise, whether it's yoga, running, or a simple walk in nature, helps reduce stress and clear the mind. Mindfulness and meditation. The practice of mindfulness, or present moment awareness, is central to Stoicism. Taking time to meditate or practice deep breathing can help you detach from negative thoughts and restore inner calm. Disconnect from negativity. Limit your exposure to negative influences, whether it's toxic people, social media, or the news. Choose instead to engage with things that uplift and energize you. Creative outlets. Art, music, writing, or any other creative pursuit can help you process emotions and rejuvenate your spirit. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius wrote down their thoughts daily as a form of reflection and self-care. Taking care of your mental and emotional health makes you more resilient to toxic individuals and helps you maintain a sense of balance and peace.
Realize it's not about you.
One of the most important realizations in dealing with toxic people is understanding that their behavior is not about you. Toxic individuals often project their own insecurities, fears, and frustrations onto others. They may lash out or criticize, but that's a reflection of their own inner turmoil, not a statement about your worth. The Stoics believed in the importance of separating ourselves from the judgments of others. In the words of Epictetus, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Toxic people will often blame others for their problems, but their actions are rooted in their own unresolved issues, not anything you've done. When you internalize this idea, you stop taking their negativity personally. You can see their insults or manipulative behavior for what it is, an attempt to offload their own emotional baggage onto you. By realizing this, you can remain calm and detached, refusing to carry the weight of their negativity. This detachment allows you to maintain your emotional equilibrium and prevents you from getting drawn into their toxic mindset. Next time a toxic person tries to project their issues onto you, remember, it's not about you, it's about them.
Don't try to fix them.
One of the most common traps people fall into when dealing with toxic individuals is the belief that they can fix them. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, or a colleague, and you think if you just show them enough kindness or explain things well enough, they'll change. But here's the hard truth: you can't change a toxic person. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control. And while you can control your own actions and responses, you cannot control other people. Trying to fix a toxic person is not only futile but also emotionally exhausting. It's like trying to uproot weeds from someone else's garden while neglecting your own. Here's why you should avoid trying to fix toxic people. You cannot change their mindset. Toxic individuals often have deeply ingrained patterns of behavior. Changing these patterns requires self-awareness and a willingness to improve, something you can't force on someone else. It drains your emotional energy. Constantly trying to fix someone who doesn't want to change will leave you emotionally drained and frustrated. It prevents them from taking responsibility. When you try to fix someone, you're taking on responsibility for their actions. This allows them to avoid accountability for their behavior, which can perpetuate the toxic cycle. Instead of focusing on changing others, focus on changing how you respond to them. If you feel compelled to help, offer guidance or resources, but let them take responsibility for their own growth. Stoicism encourages us to lead by example, demonstrating calm and virtuous behavior. In time, they may be inspired to change, but that decision must come from within them, not from you.
Know when to walk away.
Sometimes, the only way to truly protect your peace is to walk away from a toxic person. This can be incredibly difficult, especially if the toxic person is a close friend, family member, or someone you've invested a lot of time in. But Stoicism teaches us the importance of prioritizing our inner peace over external relationships. If someone consistently drains your energy, violates your boundaries, or causes you emotional harm despite your best efforts to set limits, it may be time to consider stepping away. Walking away is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength and self-respect. Here are some signs that it may be time to walk away. Repeated boundary violations. If the toxic person continues to ignore your boundaries despite clear communication, it shows a lack of respect for your well-being. Emotional exhaustion. If you feel emotionally drained after every interaction and your mental health is suffering, it's a clear indication that the relationship is no longer healthy. A pattern of manipulation or abuse. If the person is manipulative, abusive, or consistently toxic, walking away may be the only way to protect yourself. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, life is long if you know how to use it. Don't waste your precious time and energy on people who don't respect your boundaries or contribute positively to your life. By walking away, you create space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships to enter your life. Walking away doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be a gradual process of distancing yourself or limiting communication. But remember, prioritizing your mental health and well-being is always the right choice.
Forgive and let go.
The final step in handling toxic people is learning to forgive and let go. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning their behavior or allowing them back into your life. Rather, it's about releasing the emotional burden of anger, resentment, or hurt that you may be carrying. Stoicism teaches that holding on to negative emotions only harms you. By forgiving, you free yourself from the weight of the past and create space for peace and happiness in your life. This doesn't mean you excuse the toxic person's actions. It means you refuse to let their actions control your emotions any longer. Here's how you can begin to practice forgiveness. Acknowledge your feelings. Start by recognizing the anger, hurt, or resentment you feel. It's important to be honest with yourself about your emotions. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness. Understand that you're not responsible for the toxic person's actions, and allow yourself to heal from the experience. Reframe the situation. Try to view the toxic person's behavior objectively. Were they acting out of insecurity or fear? Understanding their perspective can help you release the emotional hold their actions have on you. Let go of resentment. Forgiving is about setting yourself free. Holding on to resentment keeps you tied to the toxic person emotionally, even if they're no longer in your life. Letting go of these feelings allows you to move forward with a lighter heart. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike the person who caused you harm." By forgiving, you rise above their negativity and take back control of your inner peace. With these 7 additional strategies, you now have a complete set of tools to handle toxic people using Stoic principles. From limiting your exposure and building a strong support system, to knowing when to walk away and learning to forgive, these techniques will help you protect your emotional well-being and maintain your inner peace. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Stoic wisdom. If you haven't yet, make sure to check out part 1 of this series where we cover the first 6 strategies. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment below telling us which of these steps is closest to you. We're excited to hear about your experiences. Until next time, stay strong and keep living with Stoic wisdom. Thanks for watching.